Regulation basketball court. The only problem is it's usually a crowd that's right on top of you. The only real difficult during the course of the game is that the crowd is so close and it's all the way around the gym. A lot of times the players blend in with the crowd. And I've seen a lot of guys throw balls away because they thought they saw somebody there and there wasn't somebody there. Or they threw it and they didn't see somebody that picked it off. And I think it's because the players have a tendency to blend into the crowd.
So it's safe to say you might have laryngitis tomorrow from screaming so much because they won't be able to hear you anyway? Is that accurate?
No, they won't be able to hear me. I think I've got laryngitis right now, so I'm not going to worry about that.
What concerns you the most about the Tomcats? I know they're a hot shooting team, and they can be even hotter when guys like Sean Collins are going well. Are you concerned with your team's perimeter defense?
Yes and no. Sometimes we give up too much penetration off the dribble, and sometimes we haven't. So, but that's obviously a concern playing East because they have got a lot of quickness, and they keep coming at you. So you have to be concerned about those things or it's going to eat you up. But by the same token, you can't let it scare you either.
Coach, good luck. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Jeff.
Neil, I'll send it back up to you. We'll have Wendell Jeffries here in a moment.
All right, thank you, Jeff. And we will be back with that interview as soon as Coach Jeffrey comes on the floor. Until then, let's pause 1 minute for these messages. And we'll be back with the action here at East Aurora after these messages. Tonight's game is being brought to you by both the East Aurora and West Aurora school districts. East Aurora School Superintendent Dr. Jerome Roberts wants the listeners in the East Aurora side of town to know that he's hosting a series of community forums entitled Tuesday Talks with the Superintendent. The purpose of these forums is to have an open dialogue with the community to address any issues or concerns that may be out there and to discuss the possibility of placing another referendum on the April ballot. The dates for the meetings are Tuesday, January 16th at 12 p.m., East Aurora High School. Tuesday, January 23rd at 6:30 p.m. at Simmons Middle School. Tuesday, January 30th at 8:30 a.m. at the School Service Center. And Tuesday, February 6, 2007 at 6:30 p.m. at Brady Elementary School. Also, the East Aurora Referendum Review Council will meet throughout the month of January. The purpose of the Referendum Review Council is to review the last referendum campaign and offer solutions for future referendum campaigns. The meetings are held at 6:30 p.m. at the East Aurora School Service Center. Meeting dates are January 18th and January 25th. And welcome back, those of you who are listening on WBIG 1280 in Aurora. We are happy to have you along with us. I know many of you were not able to get tickets to this game tonight because it was a sellout. In fact, the West Aurora students were only given about 225 of them, and the adults have only a few hundred also. The rest went on general sale, and first come, first serve. Whoever got to the ticket booth first on Wednesday got the tickets. There were about 400 left that were gobbled up quickly yesterday, and so it is a sellout once again. This place seats close to 4,500, one of the premier gymnasiums in the state that was first initiated back in 1957. And I had the privilege of playing in the first East Aurora West Aurora game, and I still have some vivid memories of this place. It was a huge assembly hall, we thought, compared to most of the high school gyms that we played in. And since then, we've had so many great games over the years. The East-West rivalry is one that has featured many close games, both in the regular season and in the postseason. Blackhawks last played East for the regional championship last year after the regular season game went to West fairly easily, 51-34. The regional championship was a close affair, 64-58. That was the 209th game in this long rivalry. And over the years, the teams have played some key tournament games. They've played many times in the sectional. They have met 27 times in postseason play in the last 44 years, with West Aurora winning 15 times, East Aurora winning 12. 4 times it's been in the sectional. And many of those games have been close. Since 1980, in fact, teams have played 8 overtime periods in the postseason. Well, we won't know for a couple weeks whether the teams are going to be slotted up in the same regional. We know that West Aurora will not be hosting either a regional or a sectional this year, as the state has decided they want to spread the experience around to other schools who have not hosted recently. West was the host last year. East Aurora, though, will get the sectional back again, as it's pretty well acknowledged that this is the premier place in the area to play the big games, and of course the seating capacity is the most of any high school. So this may be the only time they play this year, depending on how the state tournament pairings go and how the 2 teams do. Wendell Jeffries is just now coming out on the floor, and Jeff Hem is getting set to talk to him. As we said, Coach Jeffries is in his 6th year as the head coach of the Tomcats, and right now he's going to be talking with Jeff Hem.
All right, Neil, thanks very much. Coach Jeffries, your team 12-5 with a 10-game winning streak right now. I remember seeing at one point a long time ago you guys were 1-4, and I remember seeing that you had told a newspaper writer you felt like your team didn't have leadership at that point. What has led to such a drastic turnaround that has your team rolling right now?
Well, we decided we were going to play a little defense, and we're going to play as a team. And we played a lot better defense. We're sharing the ball. We are passing up good shots for better shots, and everyone has learned their role and accepting their role. We're 9 deep, and everyone's learned their role. At first, they weren't accepting their roles.
I asked Coach Kirkman what he thought about some of his players who haven't played in a varsity East-West game before, because sometimes you throw out the stats and the records and different things come into play. You don't have a whole lot of players who will see a lot of time on the floor tonight that haven't experienced this, but your freshman Tremel Weathersby comes to mind. Do you feel like he'll be able to handle the nerves that come into a game like this?
I tell you what, Tremel is a big freshman, and he can handle the pressure. He proved that last weekend. He went against Division I 7-footer last week, and got 12 rebounds and 6 points. So I don't think this would faze Tremel much at all.
Where do you think this game ranks on the difficulty level of your schedule? Because you played both Proviso teams and Bolingbrook, another very talented team. Where does the West game rank?
Number 1, without a doubt. No, you just can't beat this atmosphere. This atmosphere is electric. I still wish we were doing this twice a year. But the atmosphere is electric, and the gym is packed, and we really look forward to this more than any other game.
Well, maybe because there's only one game a year, everybody wants it that much more, right?
I guess so, but you know what? Even back when we were playing 2 times a year, it was still packed. So it's just magical.
Coach, thanks for the time. Have a great game tonight.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Neil, back up to you.
All right. Thank you for those interviews, Jeff, with our 2 head coaches, Gordy Kirkman and Wendell Jeffries. And we'll be back with more of our pregame show after this 1-minute pause. And tonight's broadcast again being brought to you by both the School District 129 and 131. And the West Side wants listeners to know that by providing extraordinary entertainment opportunities, West Aurora students say thank you to the community for supporting education. Coming in February, the community can sample the high level of talent in both music and theater at West Aurora High School. Come see what the students have learned from the incomparable band and drama instructors. More details to come, but put these 3 dates on your calendar. February 8th are the winter one-act plays. February 15th, a band concert. And February 22nd, the jazz band concert will be. And have you registered to vote yet? Well, if not, you have until January 30th to do so in order to vote in the February primary, and until March 20th in order to vote in the April election. Stop by any School District 129 school for a voter registration form, or print out a copy at the district's website, sd129.org. And by the way, if you care about your schools, make sure to vote in April, when only those who go to the polls will get to elect the school board members and resolve funding issues. Don't leave it to others to determine your community's future. Exercise your right to vote. Start right now by registering. We are just minutes away from the introduction of the starting lineups now, and Jeff Ham has joined us up in the press box. And Jeff, we have set the stage in terms of some of the historical games, but it's very difficult in any East-West game to kind of predict what's going to happen because they have a way of bringing out the best of some players, and you never know who's going to be the hero. We have 4 seniors who will be starting for East Aurora and a freshman, while West Aurora will be starting 2 seniors and 3 juniors. So most of the players for West underclassmen, but they have been here before. Tyler Thompson is a 2-year starter for West, as is Donato Island. While East Aurora also has some veterans in Sean Collins, Justin Tyner, who've been starting for 3 years on their side. So it'll be interesting to see whether the experience pays off or whether the newcomers don't really realize the pressure that they're under here and they rise to the floor.
Well, I thought it was a very telling sign that Coach Kirkman mentioned he doesn't want to put any extra hype to this game when he was talking about Montrell Billups and Jeff Etter and Theo Hicks and the sophomore Marcus Cocroft, who may have experienced an East-West game last year as a freshman on the sophomore team, but it's a very different animal when you get at the varsity level and the stadium is packed and the fans are screaming. But Coach Kirkman said he does not want to put any extra elements in his players' minds to make them more nervous about this game than any player already has plenty of nerves going into a game. So he's trying to downplay it, but as you mentioned, as the game rolls on and things start to play out and we see certain players having a hot game and others having a cold game, it's always a telling sign when you get a newcomer into the mix who makes a dent in the game when you would not have predicted that in the beginning.
Well, let's take a look at the starting lineup. See, we will be seeing an action here momentarily. First of all, for the visiting West Aurora Blackhawks, will be dressed in the dark navy blue uniforms with white numerals, red and white trim. Corbin Spearman, a 6'2 junior, will go at one of the wing spots, averaging 2.3 points per game. At the other forward spot, 6'5 junior Tyler Thompson, who averages 11.1, 63 rebounds, second best on the team also. In the pivot, 6'6 senior Donato Island, who leads West in both points scored and rebounds at 14.6 points per game, and he's got 90 rebounds in the first 12 games. The guards will be 5'9 junior Marquise Stewart, averaging 3.3 points per game, and 6'2 senior Reggie Shipp, averaging 11.3. And there are 2 other players that are sure to see early action. In fact, a last-minute decision might put them in the starting lineup. One of them is 5'7 sophomore Marcus Cocroft, averaging 4.5, and 6'2 senior Levante James, averaging 3.7. They will go 10 deep most of the time. East Aurora, on the other hand, will be starting this lineup. It'll be 6'2 senior Justin Tyner, who is averaging 9.7 points per game, along with 6' senior Roderick Finley. Finley is averaging 7.5 points per game. At center will be a freshman, 6'5 freshman Tremel Weathersby, who is averaging 8.5 points per game. He's also one of their leading rebounders on the season. The outside shooting will come from 6'2 senior Sean Collins, who leads East with an 11.6 point per game average. And Marlon Dickerson, averaging 9.4, will man the other starting spot. So East Aurora has 5 starters who all average between 4 points. And now the official public address announcer, Clayton Muhammad, calling the teams back for the official introduction of the starting lineups and the singing of our national anthem. And we'll be back with the start of tonight's ball game. We will now be taking a 2-minute break on WBIG, and then we will return. And for those of you who are listening to us on the worldwide streaming web, we will be bringing you the national anthem as the color guard is now approaching the center of the floor. The national state champion Naval ROTC color guard will be presenting the colors.
the 560 student cadets. The unit's drill team and color guard has reached the Navy's national competitions in Florida for the last 4 years. Today's color guard participants are carrying the American flag, Cadet Master Chief Petty Officer Ulysses Cano. Carrying the Navy flag, Cadet Captain Travis Schwab. Carrying the Tomcat flag, Cadet Senior Chief Petty Officer Antelmo Rojas. On right rifle, Cadet Second Class Petty Officer Dario Arcega. And on left rifle, Cadet Second Class Petty Officer Thalia Abrica. And now our East Aurora Pep Band will lead us in the national anthem. Would our guests please remain standing? Color guard post.
And the award-winning East Aurora Color Guard now leaving the floor after the presentation of colors and the singing of our national anthem. And now we're set for the introduction of the official starting lineups as Clayton Muhammad, Community Relations Director for East Aurora School District 131, will be announcing the starters for the two teams. We told you West Aurora will be starting 3 juniors and 2 seniors. Although Coach Kirkman said, I'm not sure. I may wait until right before game time to make up my mind. And I don't know if you checked with him, Jeff, to see whether he changed his mind.
No, that's always a broadcaster's dream, though, when the coaches change the starting lineups right before game time.
Well, Corbin Spearman, along with Marquise Stewart, Reggie Shipp, Bernardo Island, who has been nursing the flu bug all week, did play last night, although he scored only 6 points, and Tyler Thompson, who was the leading scorer last night with 16. So the West Aurora team has been introduced, wearing the blue traveling jerseys, white numerals, red and white trim. And now the starting lineups for East Aurora are being introduced. Starting with Sean Collins, a 6'2 senior, averaging 11.6 points per game, an outstanding three-point shooter. Collins, from three-point land, has attempted 64 shots, made 29 to lead East in that department. Other starters for the Tomcats, Tremel Weathersby, a big 6'5 freshman, seeing his first East-West game. Imagine what must be going through his head. Roderick Finley, a 6' senior, averaging 7.5 points per game. Justin Tyner, a 6'2 senior, averaging 9.7. Finishing up the East starters. They're coached by Wendell Jeffries in his 6th year, and he played in this series. And Jeff, I know anybody who's played in this series has some appreciation. I know we've got listeners all around the country. Many of them have experienced that. We want to give a shout out to all of our good friends in places like California, in Ohio, Florida, New York, I know you're listening, and we welcome you tonight.
We had a lot of listeners in Iowa last year with the family of Aaron Snyder, and I'm sure there are plenty of other states well represented tonight. Good to have everybody with us on our experimental webcast, and also, as always, on the airwaves of WBIG Radio.
Well, we will be working with 3 officials again tonight.
Jim Leo gathered those. The officials were on the opposite side of the court during the pregame interview, so Jim is climbing over people to get back up to our booth, and we'll have the officials as soon as he does.
So East Aurora dressed in white with the red numerals, red and black trim. They come into it 12-5 on the year. West Aurora 9-3. They played fewer games for a variety of reasons. One, they had a game snowed out back on December 1st against Glenbard North. That will not be made up until near the end of February. They also had this game moved to January. It's normally been a December game between these two teams. And they have been chosen to play in a shootout against Batavia on January 27th.
Neil, the officials are Don Olson, Rob Munson, and Jeff Otterby. Don Olson, Rob Munson, and Jeff Otterby for the East-West game tonight, the 210th running. And the 101st of the man to my right, I might add.
And it's just like it was my first. I'm that excited, I'll tell you. And we are ready to get underway. It'll be Tyler Thompson, jumping center for West, and the freshman Tremel Weathersby for East in the center circle. East will be moving the basket to our left. West will be moving from the left side to the right side of your dial here, and the ball is in the air, and it's tipped by Weathersby, but Reggie Shipp jumps in and intercepts it for West Aurora. So they move it down the right wing to Corbin Spearman. East is in a man-to-man defensively, although it's a sagging man. Thompson comes out on the left wing to get the pass. This island, they'll take their time. Reggie Shipp holding now. He's been the spiritual leader of these Blackhawks. A senior, he's been on the team for 3 years. Stewart down low, tried a shot, and it's blocked out of bounds. It's coming from behind Marlon Dickerson. Knocked it away, it'll go back over to the Blackhawks. Stewart doesn't take many shots for West. And that was a rare one. It was erased quickly. Here's Thompson down low, driving, missing the layup. Rebound to Justin Tyner for the Tomcats. They'll push it down the court quickly. Underneath, they've got wide open Finley, and he scores. Roderick Finley. Nice assist by Marlon Dickerson from the wing. And the Tomcats take the 2-0 lead. And there's a bad pass stolen away by Dickerson. So Dickerson, who's kind of been the unsung player, 5'11 senior, averages 9.4 with 2 big plays in the early going. As East now begins their move against the West Aurora man-to-man. Finley will give it to Dickerson on the right wing, down low. Turning and hitting was Weathersby, 6'5 freshman. Went behind a pick, got open for the layup, and it's 4-0 East. At the other end, here's Thompson driving, and he lays it up and in. Tyler Thompson, 6'5 junior, son of assistant coach Rick Thompson, gets the Blackhawks on the board for the first time, and it's 4-2 East.
That's the second time the Blackhawks tried a baseball pass down to the other end to break the pressure. The first time it was picked off by Collins. That time Thompson with a basket.
Collins fakes the 3 and steps inside the arc and drills it. Oh, the Tomcats are running on high energy octane here so far. They lead 6-2, and there is a double dribble called against Reggie Shipp in the backcourt. Unforced error, second turnover on the red and blue. Blackhawks have not had over amount of trouble against other teams on the turnovers, but in the pressure game sometimes they have committed unforced ones, and right there was a good example of it. So with 6 minutes to play in the first quarter, East Aurora leading 6-2 and holding the ball, they'll spread the floor. Collins, he pumps from downtown, a 30-footer is no good. Rebound comes to Thompson. He likes to throw some of those up just to keep the defense honest. Reggie Shipp for West, down to Thompson. Between 2 men, he started to drive, and a foul coming up. Finley, I believe, will be the guilty party, number 33. His first, the team's first.
Collins had 19 points in East's most recent game. Again, the Tomcats did not play last night, but they beat a very good Rock Falls team last weekend And that Rock Falls team snapped a 44-game home win streak, or I should say the Tomcats snapped it because they got a road win a couple hours from home.
At the free throw line, missing the first free throw is Tyler Thompson. Came into it tonight a 57% free throw shooter. Last night missed 4 in a row in the first quarter. Then settled down and hit 2 in the fourth quarter when it really counted, as West Aurora was pressed to the limit by West Chicago. Second one is good by Thompson. So he splits a pair, makes the score 6-3. East with the lead in the ball. The Tomcats, the host team here, is this being played in the East Aurora Gymnasium. East down quickly. They pass it back to Collins outside the arc. He drives to the free throw line, around and in with the jump shot. And Sean Collins showing no sign of butterflies here in the early going, gives his team an 8-3 lead. And Stewart is hemmed in by Collins and fouled along the sideline. In the girls' preliminary game that we had tonight, West Aurora girls got in early foul trouble, put the East team in the double bonus in both the first half and second half, and created a bit of a mountain for themselves to overcome. They were down by 7 points, came back to win it 50-47 in the final 2 minutes. Congratulations to Coach Connie Silliendahl and her girls. Here's Thompson, and his 10-footer bangs in for his 5th point of the game. 8-5. Thompson with all 5 of the West Aurora points. We have 5 minutes to play. Tyner will drive the lane. No, he missed the shot from 5. Got his own rebound. Tried it. No good. Got it back again. Kicks it outside now to Collins for a 25-footer. Short off the front. East gets the rebound, though, and they'll reset it. Tyner has it. And he'll give it over here to point guard Marlon Dickerson, and he'll set the offense again. 3 chances for East on this possession. Collins guarded by Reggie Shipp in the West man-to-man. Now on the pop-out is Weathersby. Underneath, driving Dickerson for 2. Marlon Dickerson with the basket makes it 10-5 East. West with the ball against East pressure. They get it down to Thompson on the right wing. Tyler will hold. Put it to the floor. Bounce to Shipp at the free throw line for a jump shot that's good. Reggie Shipp tickles the twine from 15 on the right side of the key.
Well, the Tomcats are overplaying quite a bit. If the Blackhawks can remain patient and prevent the silly turnovers, they're going to have some open looks.
Dickerson missed on a 3 ball. It went out of bounds. It'll be West Aurora's ball. Finley tried to save it, but he was out of bounds when he touched it, so it'll be West Aurora's ball. And Jamar Shepard, a 5'11 sophomore, now will check into the East Aurora lineup. Shepard averages 4.7 points per game. West against that full court pressure. Getting it across. Shipp down to Thompson. Thompson will pump from 18. Swish! Tyler Thompson, 3rd year on the varsity, has his 7th point. And it's 10-9. East lead has been cut to 1. It had been as many as 5. With 3:20 to play in the first quarter, East Aurora will spread it out. East and West Aurora, 2 of the storied basketball programs in the state of Illinois, tangling for the 210th time. And we're glad to bring this game to you wherever you may be around the world, on our streaming web or locally on radio station WBIG. East still moving the ball now. They try to work to Antoine Walls, a 5'9 senior. A jump shot is up and in by Finley. Roderick Finley. His 2nd basket of the game. And it's 12-9. East back up by 3. Reggie Shipp between 2 men. Gets it down to Spearman, and he turns and hits it on an 8-footer. Corbin Spearman in the lane. Reggie Shipp found him open because they were double teaming the ball, as you said, Jeff, and West found the open man.
Yeah, the Tomcats are being persistent with their pressure, and the Blackhawks have had success of breaking it here in the first few minutes. They've made 5 straight field goals after missing their first 2, have the Blackhawks.
Antoine Walls in the ball game now. He is number 10. It goes off to Collins, who will drive the lane and bank it off and in. That's Sean Collins' 3rd basket of the game. And there's a ball stripped away from Shipp. Stolen, and scoring at the other end for East was Tremel Weathersby, the freshman, combining on the trap up front, and it's 16-11. Just like that, they've got it back up to 5. They've done it with defensive pressure. Down low, a pass tipped away, but recovered by Island. His 15-footer from the free throw line is no good. Fight for the rebound. East Aurora gets it down. Here they come on the break. Shepard the sophomore, will slow it down. Didn't have the numbers. With 1:43 to play in the first quarter. He'll bounce it back outside to Antoine Walls, a 5'9" senior guard. Starts down the lane to the right and then kicks it out to Sean Collins. Wearing a white headband. East holding on to it now. West playing man-to-man all the way here tonight. At the free throw line, starting the drive, losing the ball on the floor, and we're going to have a tie-up. As there were 4 players on the floor, the possession arrow is pointing East Aurora's way. Corbin Spearman and Tyler Thompson on the floor for West. Rod Finley, along with Weathersby, on the floor for East. And now a couple new troops coming in for the Tomcats. Number 2 will be 5'11" junior Clarence Calhoun. Averages 2.7 points per game. And Wendell Jeffries also is going to insert Marlon Dickerson, who's been out for a short breather.
Calhoun with some interesting looking socks. Have you ever owned a pair like those?
No.
The red and white stripes.
I'd have to wear
up
sunglasses,
to the knees.
I think, if I did. Yeah, they're red and white striped socks.
Very festive for his team's colors.
Must have been a Christmas present.
Might be. Valentine's Day would work.
So East inbounding, high alley-oop comes into Weathersby. He turns, and his shot is blocked, and a foul coming up. Didn't go down, it won't count, but he will go to the free throw line as the foul coming up on West Aurora. It's on Reggie Shipp. That's his first, and it is the team's first foul also for West. Came in the act of shooting by the freshman Tremel Weathersby. Already has 4 points. Very mature freshman. He'll pump free throw around and out, no good.
It's always interesting, too, to keep an eye on the officials in games like this because the players get so intense and the pace can get so frantic that at times you have to keep an eye on the types of calls the officials are making and how they're trying to dictate the game, either positively or negatively.
Second free throw good by Weathersby after he missed the first. It is 17-11, biggest lead of the ball game now for the East Aurora Tomcats at the 1:15 mark. Here's Thompson starting to back it in, then kicking it outside, and a long shot by Cocroft goes out of bounds off the hands of one of the Blackhawks underneath. Marcus Cocroft, who didn't even draw iron on that, draws the derisive cheer of airball from the East students. And now Island will leave, and coming in to replace him, 6'5" senior Montrell Billups, number 51. So East has it with a 6-point lead, a minute to play here in the first quarter. And Dickerson will race it across midcourt. Reggie Shipp got a hand, tipped it out of bounds. It'll go back over to the red and black. Capacity crowd of more than 4,500 on hand tonight to witness this one, with many more around the world watching on our webcast. Glad to have you all with us. Weathersby inbounds, and a basket is good by Marlon Dickerson, a three-pointer. And with 50 seconds to play, East jumps to their biggest lead of 20-11. There's a bad pass by West, threw it out of bounds in front of the East bench. Well, East has got it working on all cylinders, Jeff. West a little rattled.
We talked about the Tomcats' three-point ability. That was their first of the game. They're 1 out of 4 from beyond the arc, and they shoot a lot of them.
They're a 33% shooting team from beyond the arc. That is a good average for a high school team. So with 30 seconds to go, looks like East may want the last shot of the period. They're just passing it around the perimeter now. Jamar Shepard, 5'11" sophomore, giving it off to Dickerson, guarded by Shipp. Back to Shepard. Now to teammate Jamar Shepard. And the clock shows 8 seconds to go. So Dickerson will start the move against Shipp with 4 seconds to go. He stops, top of the key, shoots. It's off the front nose. Shipp with the rebound as the horn sounds, ending the first quarter of play with the score. East Aurora 20, West Aurora 11. And we will be back with our second quarter after this 1-minute break.
East Aurora School Superintendent Dr. Jerome Roberts is hosting a series of community forums entitled Tuesday Talks with the Superintendent. The purpose of these forums is to have an open dialogue with the community to address any issues or concerns that may be out there, and to discuss the possibility of placing another referendum on the April ballot. The dates for the meetings are Tuesday, January 16, 2007 at noon at East Aurora High School. Tuesday, January 23rd at 6:30 over at Simmons Middle School. Tuesday, January 30th at 8:30 a.m. on School Service Center. And Tuesday, February 6th at 6:30 over at Brady Elementary School. On the West Aurora side, after more than a year of studying District 129's financial situation and the current and future needs of its students, the school board has decided to ask voters on April 17th to consider an increase in the district's operating rate. The operating rate supports basic day-to-day operations like teachers, utilities, computers, buses, and large band equipment. The board's decision based on many factors, the most important of which is the simple fact that the district now has to spend more money than it receives, but the ultimate decision is up to the voters. Get details on district finances at sd129.org. Ask questions, become informed, and vote.
And we're back here to start the second quarter with East Aurora leading by 9. Levante James in the game. Missed a shot for West, but Montrell Billups, reserve center, is there to push it back in for his first hoop of the game. And it is 20-13 in favor of the Tomcats. So West Aurora with a couple reserves in there now, 3 of them in fact. As East Aurora trying to penetrate the lane, a nice dish off underneath the Weathersby by guard Jamar Shepard with the assist, and Weathersby with his 7th point of the ball game right there. Breaking the press, they get it down to Billups. He doesn't take advantage of it though. Cocroft, the sophomore guard, gives it off to Levante James in the corner. Levante turns, he's going to start the drive and drag the pivot foot. Commits the turnover. East Aurora basketball.
West Neal shot 6 of 9 in the opening quarter, 66%. Just a couple of rebounds, mainly because the Tomcats were shooting so efficiently, and West had 4 turnovers. The Tomcats 9 of 15. Again, they were 1 of 4 from beyond the arc, 60% shooting. 5 rebounds, 3 of them at the offensive end, and the Tomcats did not have a turnover in the first quarter, though now they have one.
They just committed one. Carrying violation ruled against the Tomcats. So in that first quarter, West with 5 baskets, 1 for 2 from the free throw line. East Aurora 9 field goals, 1 was a three-pointer, 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. And on the inbounds pass, they say that it was touched last by West player. It'll go out of bounds to East. So teams trading turnovers here. 6:50 to play in the second quarter. East Aurora leads 22-13. East 12-5, West 9-3 on paper. 2 very evenly matched teams. So far, the Tomcats have responded best against this pressure-packed situation. A capacity crowd. East has won 10 straight, remember. They're trying to keep that streak alive, and they're playing before the home crowd. Decidedly East advantage. There's a loose ball picked up, though, by Weathersby. He's going to drive. Short with a shot. Rebound controlled by Reggie Shipp of West Aurora. Shipp will push it down quickly. Swing it to the left side where Levante James has it. Now back on top to Island. Donato from 19 bangs off the backboard. Missed iron altogether. We've got a whistle, and what's the call? Out of bounds on somebody or a foul? I believe it's a foul on Levante James of West. That'll be his first, team second, and Gordy Kirkman wants to call a 30-second timeout.
The West Aurora Blackhawk Sports Boosters, once again proud sponsors of the boys basketball radio broadcasts here on WBIG. For 37 years, the Boosters have been supporting West Aurora athletics at all levels and have contributed over $850,000 for all the various athletic programs in School District 129. Funds for the programs are raised primarily through merchandise and program sales, concessions, raffles, and memberships. There are a number of different membership levels starting at $25. You'll receive recognition in the programs and scoreboard, newsletters detailing booster activities, and picture buttons if they have a participating athlete at West High. In addition to assisting with the funding, Blackhawk Sports Boosters also raise money for capital projects, helping out to exceed $115,000 over the past 3 years alone. If you are interested in becoming a member and helping the athletic programs, membership forms can be downloaded from the District 129 website by clicking on the Sports Boosters link.
We're back in play, and firing and missing a three-pointer was East Aurora's point guard, Jamar Shepard, on the ensuing rebound. West Aurora got it, and they will be inbounding now, trailing 22-13. This is the biggest deficit West has faced this early in a ball game this year. And there is a whistle as Thompson tries to dribble. He is fouled on the arm by Clarence Calhoun, a 5'11 junior who just came in the ball game for Coach Wendell Jeffries at the last break. His first foul, team's fourth. And entering the East lineup, number 33 will be Roderick Finley. And he will replace the freshman Tremel Weathersby. So West Aurora inbounding. Reggie Shipp getting the pass from sophomore Marcus Cockcroft, who holds up one finger indicating the play. Giving to Thompson on the right quarter court. Tyler had 7 first quarter points to pace the Blackhawks in that category. Cockcroft holding it on the left wing. High posting James, turning from 16. Swish! Levante James, he can shoot. That's his first basket tonight. Came in averaging 3.7 points per game. Got nothing but net on that jumper. And it's 22-15. Antoine Walls bringing it across the timeline now. We'll give it up to Shepard. Shepard underneath has Finley open. The shot is rejected by Phillips. Got it back, missed everything. Rebound off the hands of Phillips. He knocked back in bounds. It's loose on the floor. Reggie Shipp got it, and he is fouled on the wrist by Victor Owens, 6-foot senior for East, who commits his first foul. Team's fifth. Good defense by Phillips that time, Jeff, to knock that ball away on the first shot.
Well, remember talking last night a couple of times when Billups tried to block a shot but swatted too heavily at it. That time he was straight up. He just barely moved his right arm to swat it away. A much better shot block attempt by Montrell Billups than the couple of unsuccessful ones we saw last night that resulted in foul calls.
The Blackhawks will come down court. That was the 5th team foul of the half against East. Blackhawks have been whistled for 2 so far. Reggie Shipp on the right wing, holding. Down low to Thompson, spinning, fading from 15. Swish! Tyler Thompson. Oh, a nice looking jump shot. His 9th point of the game. Cuts the lead down to 5. It's 22-17.
You could see the focus on Tyler's face there. As soon as he started to cut toward that right low block, you knew he wanted to get the ball and turn and shoot it quickly. A beautiful looking jump shot.
Collins back in the game, will force it from 15. Missed it, but got his own rebound against Thompson. He fakes, draws the foul, and he'll go to the line. So Sean Collins, who got 6 points in the first quarter, will be at the stripe to shoot 2 as Tyler Thompson draws his first foul and the team's 3rd of the ball game. Collins on the year, a 61% free throw shooter. First one good. And he will get one more. Tomcats didn't have any other games this week. They've been working on West since last weekend. While the Blackhawks had to play West Chicago last night, and it was a hard-fought game. Went right down to the final minutes before West Aurora did win it by 9. Second free throw also good. So the fact that East could concentrate on West all year long was a break in the schedule for them, and they used it to good advantage. East had a pep rally, in fact, early in the week, so the whole school has been fired up all week about this big game tonight. Both free throws by Collins good, make it 24-17. Cockcroft in the weave out front to James. He'll come to the left wing, bank it off and in. Levante James, his 2nd basket of the quarter. We said he can be an offensive threat. And he gets on a roll, and there's Tyner with a nice dish off to Finley, and Finley with an easy 6-footer. His 6th point of the game. And Tyner really made that one go with the assist. Here's a loose ball on the floor. It's still loose. And Phillips has it, gives it off to Cockcroft. He'll go down the lane, fake, be fouled as he dishes off a pass. And that'll be team foul number 6 on East. And West will have it out of bounds. But first Don Olson will tell us that the foul is coming up on Justin Tyner. 6'2" senior draws his first. Now Donato Island, number 35, checks back in for Montrell Phillips. With 3:35 to play till halftime, it's 26-19. East Aurora leads by 7. They have led all the way in the game since getting the first basket. Now West passing it around the perimeter against the East man-to-man. Cockcroft bouncing to Thompson on the right quarter court. On top, Reggie Shipp fakes, drives against Collins. He'll keep on going, lay it up, around and in. A nice drive, great body control by Reggie Shipp, the 6'2 senior. Gets his second basket.
Again, the Tomcats were overplaying. Sean Collins bid on the fake, and Reggie went right around him for a nice finger roll.
So the Tomcats now at the other end. Tyner almost has it stripped by James. Got it back. Cross court's a pass over here now to Dickerson. Dickerson driving against Thompson. A bump. And they're going to call a foul on Tyler Thompson, his second. And they say it was on the floor before the shot. Wendell Jeffries does not like that ruling. Montrell Billups will check in to replace Thompson. With 2:52 to go in the first half, he gets his second foul. So East will be inbounding since they rule that came before a shot attempt. And Sean Collins will ignite the play, lobs it in the backcourt now, gets a return pass, starts to drive to the basket, forces a 10-footer up, no, and up high in the sky to corral the carom was Levante James of West Aurora. He'll give it off to Cockcroft. The sophomore will pass it to Reggie Shipp near midcourt, and the Blackhawks will set their offense. 20-11, East had the lead at the end of the first quarter. Here's Shipp trying a three from the right side. Yes, he got it down. Reggie Shipp hits the triple for his 7th point of the game, and that brings East coach Wendell Jeffries off to call the timeout. And it looks like this will be a 30-second timeout. And so we'll turn it over to Jeff for a 30-second break here.
Well, the 20 students from East Aurora High School were named 2006 Illinois State Scholars by the Illinois Student Assistant Commission. The State Scholar Program recognizes Illinois high school students for outstanding academic achievement. Approximately the top 10% of Illinois high school graduates become state scholars each year. Selection is based on SAT and ACT scores and the student's class rank at the end of the junior year. West Aurora High School, a growing, vibrant alumni association. If you are a graduate and not a member, you can join for just $10 a year. The group assists reunion classes and recently launched an interactive alumni website where nearly 500 alumni have registered in the past 7 months. Find out more about the Alumni Association, including its current Distinguished Alumni Hall of Honor project, at the website sd129.org. That's sd129.org.
2:16 to play in the first half. 26-24. West has cut that deficit down to 2 here. It had been as many as 9. Tomcats working. Tyner on the left wing will drive. A shot rejected out of bounds by Billups. Nice erasure job by Montrell Billups, 6'5 senior. Transferred to West Aurora this year from Waubonsee Valley, although he had been at West in his early part of his career. Went to Waubonsee last year. Inbounds pass comes, and the shot is in and out, no good, and it's Billups up to shine the glass for West. Dickerson missing that last attempt for East. Minute 53 to play in the half. It's a 2-point game. West trying to tie here. And Reggie Shipp out on the left wing holding. Now he'll begin the dribble. Give to Levante James, who's played a lot here in the second quarter. High post, Island, triple team, bounces it back outside. Gives it back to Shipp, tries a 3-ball. Yes, again! Reggie Shipp tickles the twine from 22. And West has their first lead of the game at 27-26. We've got a whistle at the other end and a foul coming up on one of the Blackhawks. And it is on Reggie Shipp, and that'll be his second. Team's 5th of the night for the red and blue. So East inbounding. Minute 25 as a shot is good from just inside the arc by Roderick Finley. That's his 8th point of the game. 6-foot senior gives East the lead back again for the second time. 28-27. And West will just hold against what looks like a zone defense now. Cockcroft on the left wing. Looks like a 1-2-2 for East defensively. Reggie Shipp up top against Tyner. Hooks a pass in the high post to Levante James. And he's going to drive. Keeps on going. Lays it up around and out. It was halfway down and popped out. But Island gets the rebound back to Billups from 8. Good. Montrell Billups. Nice save by James, or rather by Island, to keep it alive. And West regains the lead at 29-28. And there's a push by James for West on Levante James, his second. So 3 Blackhawks have 2 fouls. It is the 6th, so no free throws taken with 34 seconds to play in the half. Coming in for East, number 10, Antoine Walls, 5'7" senior. And Reggie Shipp will lead. Corbin Spearman back into the West lineup. Collins looking to inbound. Gets into the backcourt to Justin Tyner. The veteran senior guard coming up against Spearman. Crosses over. Feeds to Walls. Near midcourt, guarded by Cockcroft, the sophomore for West Aurora. 20 seconds to play now. East looking for the last shot of the period. Goes to Collins. They want it in his hands. I think the period winds to a close here with 13 seconds to go. Walls, standing yo-yo dribble up front. Now starts down the lane against Cockcroft. Keeps on going, and a whistle, and fouled in the act of shooting was Walls. And the foul coming up on the Blackhawks. Levante James, I believe.
I think it was on Marcus Cockcroft.
Cockcroft, yep. On Cockcroft, that is his first, is the 7th team foul. Came in the act of shooting anyway by Antoine Walls, who hasn't scored yet in the game. He's at the line, and he coolly puts the free throw up and in. He is a 85% free throw shooter. Best on the East team. East as a team is shooting 62% from the field. West as a team is shooting 55% from the free throw line. Blackhawks are 44% from the field, while East Aurora is 47%. Second free throw also good by Walls. So he hits a pair to give East a 1-point lead. And we've had 6 ties or lead changes here in the last few minutes. 30-29. East leading with 6 seconds to go. In the backcourt, Cockcroft will try to race it up. And Finley resisting him. He lets fly at the horn. It's no good. And that is the end of the first half of play. With the score, East Aurora 30, West Aurora 29. As the teams go to the halftime locker room. And we'll be back with our halftime show after we take this 1-minute pause for these messages. Well, you know, fans, over 1,200 parents, students, and community members participated in the 2nd annual Posada Navideña, sponsored by the Bilingual Parents Association at East Aurora. The event was held on Saturday, December 9th at the East High Fieldhouse. For those of you who haven't seen the new East Fieldhouse, it's a marvelous structure. A lot going on in there. One more asset for the school district and the city of Aurora. And on the other side of town, 71 students from West Aurora High School have been named 2006 State Scholars by the Illinois Student Assistance Commission. The State Scholar Program recognizes Illinois high school students for outstanding academic achievement. Only the top 10% of Illinois high school graduates become state scholars each year. Selection is based on test scores and the student's class rank. So from Marco Avila to Allison Zablin and the 69 others in between, congratulations for your excellent scholarship. And thank you to the teachers and parents who have helped shape these future leaders at West Aurora. And at East High, at halftime, the East Aurora cheerleaders performing for the crowd. We had a nip and tuck first half there, 30-29, the score here. East grabbed the early lead, led by 9 points at the end of the first quarter, 20-11. Before East saw the Blackhawks from West fight back, took their first lead of the game on a 3-point shot by Reggie Shipp at 27-26, and then the lead seesawed back and forth to where we are right now, 30-29. In that second quarter, the Blackhawks had the upper hand, scoring 18 points to 10 for East. East had only 3 baskets in that first quarter of play. Well, at halftime, gives us pleasure to talk to the superintendent of School District 129 about some of the activities that are going on with the West Aurora School District. And here now is Jeff Hem talking to Dr. Jim Reidland. And we're having some trouble with our microphone apparently, and we'll try to rectify that shortly as Dr. Reidland, in his second year at the helm of the West Aurora School District 129.
Since 1988, and since then we've grown over 5,000 students. We've added a school to the district, and that's a wonderful thing because of our voters have sorted our bond issues. But we need to be able to operate day to day, and that means, what does that go for? That goes for things, fundamentals, not frills. That's utilities, that's electrical, that's those things like safety, security, maybe buses. Someone's right behind you, wants to talk to you. So.
And I also understand that you've met with...
Did you get any of that?
I also understand that you've met with over 60 different community groups over the past several months. What's the consensus about what they're feeling about District 129?
District 129, our community, first of all, has a tradition of excellence, and that's really been reaffirmed. And our community says to us, continue to communicate, continue to reach out, continue to have high expectations for all students. I've heard that consistently. And most certainly our community said, we support schools, but make sure you're accountable. Make sure those tax dollars are going for what? Classrooms, fundamentals, for students and for student learning.
There may have been an issue upstairs on the first question. Can you briefly re-explain what an operation rate increase is and why it is necessary?
Absolutely. An operating rate goes for how you operate day to day. It's for the day-to-day kinds of things you need to do. That's buses, being able to get kids to and from school. We have safe schools, but we want to make sure we have security, additional security measures in terms of cameras, for example. Utilities, we have to have heat and lights, of course. But our teachers need to have current tools. They need to be able to have books, supplies for our students to be able to be competitive in the future. It's the day-to-day sorts of things that make a difference in terms of schools, making sure School District 129 stays competitive and our kids are successful now and in the future.
I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask the tough question. Who's going to win the game tonight?
Oh, hey, now that's not a question. That's the easiest question I've been asked for a long time. After 60 forums, that's a great question, of course. West, Aurora, Blackhawks.
Let's make sure the camera up top can see your bright red megaphone
right here, right now, huh?
Dr. Reidland, thanks so much for your
time. All right.
All right, Neil, back up to you.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much for that interview with Dr. James Reidland, West Aurora School Superintendent. And the West Aurora School Board did vote to go for a referendum to increase the tax rate on April 17th. They will be asking for a 50-cent increase. They have not had an increase since 1988, one of the longest periods ever for schools in this area. And in the meantime, since then, student population has increased more than 5,000, and there have been several new schools built. And they also have been facing increasing costs, as everybody has. So that's why the school board decided to let the community vote on April 17th about the referendum. And East Aurora also going through some of the same analysis process. Their board will be considering that issue very shortly. And Dr. Jerome Roberts, the East Aurora superintendent, has also been visiting with the community. And we hope to get a chance to talk with him now. And if our camera can swing around and pick him up in the corner, I think Jeff has corralled him. And we'll see if we can't send it down now to Jeff and Dr. Jerome Roberts.
All right, guys, thanks, Dr. Roberts. Now that we've found you, I understand that you came on board as the superintendent of District 131 back in July. How would you summarize your first semester as superintendent, and what kind of plans do you have for the next semester?
I'd summarize my first semester as busy. I think there are 3 major events that cause the superintendent to gain gray hairs. 1 is a referendum, 2 is a snow day, and 3 is contract negotiations. Well, in my first semester, I've had a referendum and a snow day. In my second semester, I've got contract negotiations that start in March. so it's been a little busy.
Well, I know there are plenty of people out there who are learning about the referendum. Why do you think it's necessary?
Well, we want to continue the good things that have been happening at East Aurora over the last decade or so. In order to do that, we need adequate funding to keep our kids happy and to keep the schools open and to keep programs and things going. So it's a valuable, it's not just a frill anymore. It's a necessity to keep the schools open and going.
And you're experiencing your first East-West game tonight. How long did it take you before someone mentioned to you about this when you came on board?
Oh, I was principal here at the high school.
I beg your pardon then.
Yeah, so this is about my 5th or 6th East-West game. But it's the first one as superintendent, so I hope we win because the victory would be very nice.
Well, Dr. Reidland made his prediction. Not surprisingly, he went with West. I know who you're going to go with.
Well, of course he's going to go with West. He doesn't know any better, so it's East Aurora all the way.
How about this venue, though? Over 4,500 people in here packing the place. Whether it's an East Aurora game or a sectional game that doesn't even involve East, this is one of the best venues for basketball.
Jim Ryland and I have a new saying in East Aurora and West Aurora. It used to say, East is East and West is West, and in Aurora, East is best, and the same with West. Now it says East is East and West is West, but in Aurora, our kids are best.
I like that. We'll end on that, Dr. Roberts. Thanks so much for your time.
Okay.
All right, Jeff, thank you for the interviews, and we'll be back with our second half after we pause 1 minute for these messages. And did you know that hundreds of West High students are taking college-level courses for college credit? That's right. These advanced placement classes cover French, Spanish, statistics, calculus, biology, chemistry, history, psychology, government, and macroeconomics. It's not uncommon for a West High student who has taken several AP courses to graduate and go right into sophomore-level college classes, saving mom and dad a year's tuition. West High's tradition of excellence continues. And the Blackhawk Sports Boosters Club is an organization of parents, faculty, and community members who are dedicated to supporting West Aurora athletic programs. Boosters sell concessions and spiritware at home games, and they provide financial support for equipment, scholarships, and larger items like the track and scoreboard. Learn more about and join the Sports Boosters by visiting its website, sd129.org/boosters. That's sd129.org/boosters. And we're ready for our second half of play here at East Aurora, the 210th renewal. This is Neil Arman along with Jeff Hem and Jim Leo, along with a cast of about 4,500 people. Jeff, you had to hustle to get back up from the floor. It's a good hike back up here to the press box.
Well, you might not be able to hear me panting because it's so loud here, but trust me, I am.
I know you're in good shape, though. All right, East Aurora will have it first to begin play, and they inbound with a 30-29 lead. Starters for both teams back in the ball game, it looks like, as the Tomcats work to Weathersby on the high post, kicks it back outside. West Aurora opens in a zone, which is a bit different than they had in that first half when they went man-to-man. Sean Collins pumps from 25 and hits from 25. Sean Collins in double figures now with 11 points after that triple, and he gives his team a 4-point lead. His first triple of the game, and he has been their leading three-point shooter on the year. Right there was his 23rd that he's made. Here's a shot by Island, no good. Fight for the rebound, tracked down by Donato himself. So the Blackhawks will get another chance. Here's Ship shooting from 10, too hard. And this rebound is ripped down by one of the guards for East, and they're going to call a tie-up as three Blackhawks had a hand on the ball, along with Marlon Dickerson from East Aurora. Possession arrow will be pointing West Aurora's way, so they will have it out. And that'll be ruled as a turnover, I guess, Jeff. East got the rebound. And there's a tie-up, and the possession arrow will go back to East now, because as West inbounded it, they immediately were tied up by Rod Finley, Stewart, and he will leave and be replaced by Marcus Cockcroft. So the Tomcats have it back again. 33-29. We've just started our third quarter of play here at East Aurora. Tomcats at 12-5 on the year. And the Blackhawks at 9-3. This 210th meeting. Renewal of a long rivalry. And there's Collins again hitting another three. Well, we said earlier, once he gets hot, he can really go on a streak. And he just hit his second three in a row. And it's 36-29. Thompson is going to be called for the up and down move traveling. And it'll be East Aurora's ball.
We talk about Sean Collins in a game earlier this season against St. Charles East. East went on a 19-point run. Collins had 3 3-pointers in 25 seconds. He has got to be one of the most electrifying players, not only in the area, but also the state of Illinois. When he is on, he is so tough to stop.
Right. He really feels it, and he'll take shots from as far away as 30 feet. Here's a bounce pass to Finley from Collins, being chased by Reggie Shipp. Now he'll pass it over here to Marlon Dickerson, who holds against Marcus Cockcroft. There is a moving screen set by East Aurora's Victor Owens. And that'll be his second foul, first foul of the second half against East. Kind of a football block applied to the little sophomore guard Cockcroft. Second turnover against the Tomcats. And it'll be West Aurora's ball in the low post. They get it to Thompson, kicks it back outside to Cockcroft. Now to Reggie Shipp on the left wing. They'll swing the other way. Spearman back on top, Cockcroft. Now Shipp from 21. Yes! Reggie Shipp rings the bell from outside for the third time tonight. That's his 15th three-pointer of the year. He leads West in that department, and it's 36-32. The other end, they get it down low. Weathersby, he stops, fakes, short. Thompson with the box out rebound, lost the ball on the floor, and we've got an out-of-bounds call or a foul. I believe a foul coming up. Thompson is fouled by Owens, who jumped on top of him trying to get that loose ball, and that'll be foul number 3 on Victor Owens. Muscular 6-foot senior will leave the lineup now and be replaced by number 20, Jamar Shepard, 5'11 sophomore. It's 36-32. East leads by 4. We had 6 ties or lead changes in the first half. Third quarter began with East up by 1. Here's Spearman from 3. He got it, and he'll get a chance at a 4-point play as he was fouled as he took the shot by Tremel Weathersby. Corbin Spearman with his first three-pointer of his career. He hadn't even attempted one, I don't think, before that one, and he put it down and will get a chance at the free throw line to make it a 4-point play. 5th point of the game for Corbin, a 6'2 junior, and he does convert a 4-point play, and that could be a big turning point because it ties the game at 36.
Blackhawks on a 7-0 run.
East Aurora with the ball now against the West zone pressure. Setting it up top to Justin Tyner, 3-year varsity starter. Tyner starts the dribble with the right hand. Reggie Shipp guarding him as he moves to the left side. Now it comes off to Tyner, working against Shipp, kicks to Collins. Collins will start the drive against Cockcroft. Short off the front of the rim, and Tyler Thompson up on the stepladder to rip it down for the red and blue. Here comes Cockcroft down to Spearman. 36 all tie with 4.5 minutes to play third quarter. West Aurora has never led by more than 1. Down low, Island will shoot and hit and give West their biggest lead of the game at 38-36. Third time they've been in the lead. And at the other end, East Aurora trying to counter. A shot is no good, but the rebound underneath by East and a foul called. And it will put Tomcat Jamar Shepard at the free throw line. That's the first basket of the game for Donato Island a moment ago for the Blackhawks. He was the West leading scorer at 14.6 per game before tonight. Free throw is short off the front rim by Calhoun on the first attempt. He is hitting just 56% from the free throw line this year, and he'll get one more with 4:09 to play, and West Aurora up by 2. Second one too hard, and it's Thompson up to shine the glass again for West. Gives it off to Marcus Cockcroft. Marcus with the left hand will bring it across the timeline, being hounded over here by Calhoun, and we've got a whistle and a foul called. Hand check applied by Jamar Shepard will draw the foul. That's his first. Two sophomores going head-to-head. That's a matchup we could see for the next 2 years, Jeff.
And that's where you talk about guys who have not played in a varsity East-West game before, trying to handle their nerves. They're both doing exceptionally well tonight, in my opinion.
Reggie Ship for West will go down the lane, scoop and hoop for 2. Basket Townsend, I think the foul called will make this a potential 3-point play. Was that Sean Collins who came over and reached in on the dribble drive by Reggie? On Collins, that will be his second foul. And the team's 5th this half already. Only 1 foul has been called on West so far. So Reggie Ship with 15 points to his credit. At the stripe, we'll add 1 more.
Well, not too long ago, it was 36-29 East. Now it's 41-36 West. 12-0 run.
Clock shows 3:40 to play in the third quarter. And East will bring it across the timeline. Tyner will pump from 22. Way off. Air ball. Didn't even hit the iron. And Thompson is there to collect the carom. 5th rebound for Tyler tonight. Thompson has it down low. Drives to the basket. Lost the ball. Laid it up. Off. No good. Rebound fought for. Island got it back. He missed the 5-foot jumper. Fight for the rebound. Controlled by Tyner Priest. They've got a 3-on-1 break at the other end. Pulling up and shooting a 3. It's good. Was Sean Collins. That's his 3rd three-pointer in a row this quarter.
That was Dickerson.
It was Dickerson? Okay. Dickerson with the 3. And timeout asked for, as we've got a 41-39 score in favor of East. We're going to pause 1 minute for these messages, and then we'll be back here.
Nearly 2,000 families participated in the annual Christmas Gift Mart sponsored by Community Christian Church. The event was held on Saturday, December 9th at Bradwell Elementary School. Families from Bardwell and Brady were eligible to participate. The event has grown by 100% since it began 4 years ago. The size of West High's renowned and unsurpassed band program is the biggest it has ever been. One reason for this growing success are dedicated parents who, through the Band Boosters Club, promote and maintain an enthusiastic interest in the program and aid in financing items and special events outside the general school budget. Learn more about the Band Boosters by visiting the website sd129.org/bandboosters. That's sd129.org/bandboosters. And finally, over 100 young ladies participate in the basketball cheer cats program, sponsored by the East Aurora Cheerleaders and Dance Team. Each year, East Aurora sponsors young girls from the area's elementary and middle schools to learn the art of cheerleading and dancing. The young ladies perform a combined routine for a major sporting event during that season.
So we're ready to get back underway with 3:06 to play in the third quarter. You're listening to radio station WBIG in Aurora, as well as the streaming webcast coming to you courtesy of School Districts 129 and 131. This is the first ever in the Aurora area to have the video webcast being brought worldwide, and we welcome our viewers wherever they may be around the world. East Aurora, West Aurora, Illinois' finest high school basketball as the Blackhawks will inbound, leading by 2. In the backcourt, Reggie Ship will bring it across down to the right wing. Reggie pivoting, can't get rid of it. Finally, Donato Island, he'll drive, reverse layup for 2. Donato Island got that pass off, almost a desperation pass by Ship, who was shut off. And it's 43-39, 2:42 to play, third quarter. For the Tomcats, Antoine Walls hitting Tyner up top. He'll swing on the left side now to Jamar Shepard. Ball tipped away by Tyler Thompson in the backcourt. Shepard will go back to retrieve. Almost a steal by Thompson. Now Walls near midcourt, guarded by Cocroft. To Shepard on the left wing. West really pressuring defensively in the man-to-man. They had been zoned earlier. Walls against Cocroft, and there's a hand check by Cocroft, and he'll draw the foul. Number 2 on Marcus Cocroft, only number 2 of the half against West. Into the East lineup now, number 2, Clarence Calhoun with the striped socks. And he'll be inbounding right in front of Wendell Jeffries on the East Aurora bench down there. Comes into Walls in the corner, feeds it back outside to Calhoun. Picked up by Spearman for West. His aunt, Linda Spearman, all-state player for the West Aurora girls team back in 1990, led them to the state playoffs. For the state championship game, in fact. So East with 1:50 to go, trying to penetrate. West won't let them in this man-to-man. Now Walls will try to penetrate. They do some good hedging to stop the dribble. Calhoun, top of the key. They really haven't spread the floor. And driving the lane now will be Dickerson, and he puts it up and in. Marlon Dickerson, his 10th point of the game, 5th one in the last 2 minutes. Makes it 43-41. West with the lead and the ball. 1:24 to play. Marquis Stewart, low posting. Thompson off to Spearman, to Island for 2. Granado Island on the banker, his 3rd basket of the quarter. He's got 6 for the game, 6 points, and it makes it 45-41. Dickerson trying to penetrate again. They spread the floor. Here's Calhoun, the sophomore, down the lane for 2. Nice dribble drive by Clarence Calhoun. They spread the lane for him, and he makes it 45-43. Marquis Stewart across the timeline. Will hook it to Spearman. Left side wall. Reggie Shipp. And a timeout asked for by Gordy Kirkman. With 43 seconds to go in the quarter. And we'll pause for this break. Jeff?
The West Aurora Blackhawk Sports Boosters currently conducting their 4th annual $10,000 raffle. The drawing and dinner will be held at the Fox Valley Country Club on March 10th. Proceeds going toward major capital outlay projects to benefit athletic facilities at the high school. Past proceeds from the raffle helping pay for the new track, new scoreboard on the football field, and for improvement to the gym foyer. Raffle tickets are $100, dinner tickets are $20. Over $17,000 in cash prizes will be awarded with a grand prize of $10,000. Also, every 10th ticket drawn will win $100. In addition to the drawing being conducted at the dinner, there will be other raffles and a silent auction. The event gives the sports boosters an opportunity to celebrate West High athletics with the community and their supporters. 2 early bird drawings of $250. One was earlier in the month. The other is coming up on February 2nd. Tickets can be purchased from any booster board member. You can also get them by mail. Flyers with the mailing information are available on the District 129 website on the Sports Booster link. Neil?
All right, we're back in play, and Marquis Stewart with the ball for West Aurora after that timeout. Gordy Kirkman wants to go for one last shot here, I would imagine. They double-team Stewart, and he's in trouble, and they're going to call him for traveling. They double-teamed him near midcourt, and the official called traveling.
There's a lot of bumping going on that play as well. Coach Kirkman's surprised by the call.
Marquis Stewart didn't like the call, that's for sure. Gordy Kirkman now talking to Don Olson, the official right in front of him, about why there was no foul call. That's why he dragged his pivot foot, says Coach Kirkman, because he was bumped. 25 seconds to go. East will get the last chance at it. It's 45-43 West as the Tomcats will work that clock down. 15 seconds showing now. Standing yo-yo dribble near midcourt by Marlon Dickerson. He'll give it up to Calhoun. 6 seconds to go. He starts the dribble. Wants to go down the lane. Now bounces on the right side to Walls. Guarded by Stewart. He's going to throw up a three-point attempt. It's good at the horn. An off-balance three by Antoine Walls. His first basket of the game. Beats the buzzer and gives East their 4th lead of the contest at 46-45 after 3 periods of play. And we'll be back with our 4th quarter after this 1-minute pause.
118 gifts were collected by students from Oak Park Elementary School for the United States Marine Corps Toy Drive. Students raised money and brought in new toys that will be provided to needy students in the area. The East Aurora students also contributed toys that were donated in honor of our own 2 fallen heroes, Hector Ramos and Eduardo Lopez. 3,000 new books were donated through our business partnership with Chicago Tribune Charities and Candlewick Press. The donation is a first in a series that is aimed at improving reading in the early middle school years. Books were donated to 5th and 6th grade students throughout the district. On the West Aurora side, the Foundation for the West Aurora Schools enhances students' education, making the critical difference between a very good school system and an excellent one. By attracting private donations, the foundation provides educational extras, such as guest artists, homework clubs, and a fine arts symposium. Consider buying a walkway brick from the foundation in honor of someone you love. Find out more at the website, sd129.org/foundation. Again, that's sd129.org/foundation.
And we've come to the end of 3 periods of play. West Aurora will inbound to start off our 4th quarter, trailing by 1, 46-45. It's been a nip-and-tuck battle. Here's Billups in the ballgame for West, turning and hitting on about a 15-footer. Montrell Billups, the 6'5 senior, gets his 3rd hoop and gives West the lead for the 4th time, 47-46. Well, it's figured to be a close ball game. On paper, these teams very even. East has won 12 times this year against 5 losses. West 9-3. Veteran players on both teams. Now Antoine Walls, who threw up that buzzer beater at the end of the 3rd quarter. That was a remarkable shot. He was off balance. I don't think he wanted to shoot, but he saw the time was running down, and he threw up the shot, and it went in from about 24 feet away. And there is a whistle and a foul coming up on one of the Blackhawks. In fact, Walls, before that shot, had taken only 6 3-pointers, made only 1 in his entire varsity career. Foul called on West Aurora's Corbin Spearman, and that will be his 2nd. And here's a takeaway by Donato Island for the Blackhawks. So West Aurora leading by 1, 47-46. Spearman has an opening to the lane. He'll drive, lay it up and in. A collision, but no foul. Corbin Spearman with 8. This is his career high. Makes it 49-46. Walls out about 30 feet away from the basket. Finds Weathersby open on the top of the key. A whistle underneath. An offensive foul called for a moving screen against Victor Owens, and that'll be his 4th. Turnover on East. 3rd time he's picked up an offensive foul. And since that is his 4th, he will leave. Roderick Finley, I believe, will come in to replace him. Now they're going to leave him in and take out Weathersby. So the Blackhawks will have the ball and the lead, 49-46, with 6:27 to play here in the 4th quarter. In many of the earlier games tonight, East has had the early lead. West has come from behind to win it. They've won the last 5 games here today that have been played between the lower levels and the girls. Here's Island missing a 20-footer from the corner. Walls with the rebound will push it back the other way in a hurry. Tyner on top, open, doesn't take the shot. He's their 2nd leading 3-point shooter. Walls will start down the lane. Now cleared off Tyner. Looks back door, no one open. Still has the dribble. He'll give it now to Antoine Walls, 5'9 senior, to Collins. Sean Collins working against Corbin Spearman. Stops the dribble after 1 and hooks a pass to Owens. Backdoor pass, Finley, 2! Roderick Finley cutting to the basket for his 10th point of the game. Well, that was a beautiful play by East against the West man-to-man. And it's 49-48. Here's Island trying to go baseline. Couldn't, and stepped out of bounds. Tyner and Finley were there. Finley wouldn't let him penetrate. And it's a turnover against West. And East will have it, but first, Wendell Jeffries will insert number 20, Jamar Shepard, into the East lineup. 5.5 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. 49-46 the score in favor of West. 49-48 the score in favor of West. Shepard to Collins. Collins shot in the corner, no good. Kicks outside to Marquis Stewart. Stewart around Tyner, down the lane to the right, keeps on going, lays it up, no, but a foul called. And Stewart will go to the free throw line. Marquis Stewart, once he got up ahead of steam, didn't stop. Foul called on East Aurora's Roderick Finley, his 2nd. And it is the 7th team foul, so West will be shooting free throws here on out on every foul. Marquis Stewart looking for his first point of the game, gets it as he hits the free throw successfully.
Couple of stats for you, Neil. Entering the quarter, Blackhawks shooting 67% from the field, 4 of 5. Again, they're hot shooting from beyond the arc tonight. Tomcats shooting just about as well, 18 of 35 for the game, 52%. West is winning the rebounding battle but has more turnovers than East.
Stewart missed the second after making the first. East back the other way, and they score. As going to the hoop was Jamar Shepard. That's the first basket for East in a while. And for Shepard, his first one of the game. He ties the score at 50. Our third tie of the contest. West, Reggie Shipp double team, gives it over to Island. East gambling on the traps in the corners. Island will spin, and they're going to call him for an offensive foul. As he was moving, he hooked the defender, Finley, and they're going to call Donato for his first foul of the game. Turnover. We'll give it over to East Aurora. How many turnovers on West tonight?
That's 9 now. Tomcats have 5.
Well, East has done a great job controlling the ball against the West pressure. We're tied at 50 with 4.5 minutes to play. As Tyner will bring it across the timeline against Spearman. Pulls up from 16, too hard. Rebound, though, underneath is good on the rebound. It was Shepard, the sophomore, who got the rebound over the back of Stewart and pushed it in and was fouled. And he'll get a chance at the three-point play. Marcus Cockcroft will come in to replace Stewart, who on that play drew his first foul. Team foul number 5 of the half. Jamar Shepard, 5'11" sophomore, didn't have a point coming into this fourth quarter. He's got 4 already. And he gives East their 5th lead of the game and make it a 3-point lead after that 3-point play the hard way. Full court pressure being applied by East. Phillips will lob to Cockcroft. Off to Reggie Shipp, double team. Gets it back to Cockcroft. Down court to Thompson. Back to Shipp. 4:16 to play. 3-point lead for East. Tyler Thompson up top, now to Shipp on the left wing right in front of Coach Kirkman. Gives it off to a cutting Cockcroft. He'll come back to Shipp, fakes the 3, drives the lane, holding foul called. He made the basket, it won't count. Foul came before the shot attempt. We're in the 1-and-1, so Reggie Shipp will go to the line. And it was Sean Collins, I think, drawing his 3rd foul on the play. 8th team foul. Now Island will check back into the West lineup, and Phillips will sit down. Tyner leaves, and Tremel Weathersby, the 6'5" freshman, comes in. They list him at 6'5", but standing next to Tyler Thompson, he doesn't seem to be quite as tall as Tyler. Reggie Shipp at the line, hits the free throw. He will get one more. Well, the Blackhawks have struggled on the year at the free throw line, but now come down the stretch. Concentration showing, and Reggie Shipp misses the second one. The rebound went out of bounds. It'll go back over to West as East touched it last. It was Owens. Couldn't hang on to it. So West will get it out of bounds. 53-51. East leads by 2 with 4 minutes, 1 second to play. West goes into the revolving wheel for their inbound play, where the players just kind of walk around in a circle. Here's Thompson taking it to the corner. He's shut off by Finley. Stops the dribble, bounces it underneath to Spearman for 2. Corbin Spearman with a nice cut down the lane is in double figures for the first time in his career with 10. And he ties the score at 53 all, our 4th tie of the game. Sean Collins up near midcourt being guarded by Reggie Shipp. Starts down the wing to the right, pulls up the dribble, now needs help. Shipp pounding him, and he just got it away before a 5-second count was called. Here's Owens, he'll go down the lane. Nice dish off underneath Calhoun, hooks it over his head, no, fight for the rebound, comes to East. Owens, shot short, foul called. Owens will go to the free throw line for East as he was hit on the arm by Tyler Thompson of West. Or is it on Island? It's on Donato. That's his second. Team's 6th of the half, but it came in the active shooting by Victor Owens. So Owens is at the stripe. And he is a 56% free throw shooter on the year, and he makes the first one.
He banked it in. I would not call it pretty, but it went in, and his team will take the point.
Levante James, number 43, checks in for Corbin Spearman. Collins will get a rest for East as Walls comes back in. So Victor Owens at the line again. He fires it up. It's off the front, and Levante James up on the stepladder for West to rip it down. Back to Reggie Shipp. Reggie across the timeline, being hounded by Owens. Triple team. Underneath, Thompson wide open, turns from 15 and got it. Tyler Thompson, his first basket since the first half, his 11th point of the game, makes it 55-54. West with their 5th lead of the ball game. And we have had 14 ties or lead changes since the second quarter when things got heated up. Here's a ball knocked away by Island, and they're going to call him for the reach-in foul. And that'll be the 7th team foul on West, 3rd personal foul on Donato Island. And Coach Kirkman tells him we don't need that kind of a foul. It puts Victor Owens at the free throw line. His last time at the stripe was an adventure. He hit 1 of 2. And this will be a 1 and maybe as we're in the bonus situation. His first one is good. And he ties the score at 55. 15th tie or lead change in the game. We've got 2:47 to play in the fourth quarter. Owens at the line, pumps, it's good. So he gives East their 6th lead of the game, 56-55. And West will be inbounding against full court pressure by East. Marcus Cockcroft in the backcourt being pressured by Walls. Will bring it across the timeline. Goes to the right side to Levante James. 2.5 minutes to play. Reggie Shipp down the lane, pulls up from 10, shoots, scores, foul, basket counts. Reggie Shipp, the 6'2 senior. He's been their main man tonight. That was his 19th point of the game right there. And he gives West the lead at 57-56. And he'll get a chance at the 3-point play. He does get it successfully. 2-point lead for West. 2:25 to play. East being pressured, don't get it across the timeline. Over on the left wing, driving Dickerson, underhand scoop shot, no good. And Thompson has the rebound down for West High. Took it away from Finley. Good muscle job by Tyler Thompson. Down court, Cockcroft is hit, and we've got East coming back the other way. Cockcroft is injured at the other end. East will shoot, score, and they wipe it off. Let's see what the call is. There was an injured player on the court, and they're going to call an offensive charge against East. We've got 3 players down. Cockcroft at the other end, and his mother came running out on the court before the official had even blown the whistle to tend to Marcus, who was hit, and there was no foul. I was surprised, Jeff, because there was a big collision. East got the ball, but at the other end they call the offensive foul on one of the East players, and I'm not sure who it's on. With 2:04 to go.
And then Tyler Thompson was down at the right end of the floor, and there was a Tomcat down. I did not see which East Aurora player it was.
Thompson took the charge, and they ruled it was a charge. And I didn't see which Tomcat it was either, and they haven't put the foul up on the board as Cockcroft gets to his feet.
And Marcus has played so hard tonight.
Oh, he has.
Not that anyone else hasn't, but
Gordy Kirkman wants to call a timeout. We're going to get a 1-minute timeout coming up here. 1-minute timeout with 2:04 to play. West Aurora leading by 2. We'll be back in 1 minute after these messages.
In a report issued by the Illinois State Board of Education, all 12 elementary schools in East Aurora School District 131 have made adequate yearly progress. Consequently, there are no elementary schools in District 131 on the state watch list, and none have been identified for school improvement according to the AYP specification of the federal No Child Left Behind Act. In the same preliminary report issued by the Illinois State Board of Education, all 3 of the district's middle schools posted scores that exceeded the state's 47.5% requirements in the ALL category. On a note from the west side, the District 129 School Board presented 3 of its very best teachers with Golden Apple Awards back on November 20th. The honorees are West Aurora High School Social Studies teacher David Zine, West Aurora High School Science teacher Janet Liberta, and Herget Middle School music teacher Jeff Glagowski. The purpose of the Golden Apple program is to recognize and honor outstanding teachers who have gone above and beyond the high expectations established for their position. Later on, we'll tell you more about these outstanding teachers if we get the opportunity.
So we are back in play here at East Aurora. Double team pressure on Marquis Stewart, bring the ball down floor, and he throws it away. Stewart bounced it right into the hands of Justin Tyner. 1:48 to go, a 2-point lead for West, but East has the basketball. Tyner outside. He'll give it off to Dickerson, who shoots from 3. It's no good, and high in the sky to corral the carom for West, Tornado Island. In the backcourt, Stewart hounded, goes through 3 men. Starts down court, gives it to Thompson on the left wing. To Reggie Shipp. Nice pass, but it's stolen away. He had Levante James under the basket, and Dickerson had it and was fouled by James coming back the other way. Levante with his 3rd foul. We're in the 1-and-1 for East now. And we'll put Marlon Dickerson at the free throw line for the first time tonight. He is a 48% free throw shooter on the year, and this will be a 1-and-1 situation for Dickerson. We have 1:25 to play in the game as Dickerson pumps on the first one and hits it. So he will get the bonus and a chance to tie the score. We've already had 17 ties or lead changes in this one, and make it 18 as both free throws good for Marlon Dickerson. There you have ice water in the veins because he's hitting less than 50% for the year, but he knocked both of those down without any problem. 58-58 tie. Down the lane goes James. He'll lay it up and in for West Aurora. Levante James with his first basket since the first half, 6-point, and he gives West the 60-58 lead. For East, Justin Tyner, top of the key, guarded by James. We're under a minute to play in the game. 55 seconds to go. Finley will spin, shoot over Island, no good. Rebound skied, and Reggie Shipp has the boards for West. Reggie Shipp, give it up to Marquis Stewart. It's stolen away from him, and going in and scoring for East was Antoine Walls. 60-60. As Stewart was stripped of the ball, and Walls put it up and in, and Gordy Kirkman wants to call time with 28 seconds to play. Timeout on the floor, and this will be a full timeout, so we will pause 1 minute for these messages, and then we'll be back here. Well, as we said, this broadcast being brought to you by both School District 129 and 131. And in a report issued by the Illinois State Board of Education, all 12 elementary schools in East Aurora School District 131 were deemed to have made adequate yearly progress. Consequently, there are no elementary schools in District 131 on the state watch list, and none have been identified for school improvement according to the AYP specification of the federal No Child Left Behind Act. And over on the west side, they're proud of the fact that 22 recently graduated West Aurora High School students have earned the distinction of AP Scholar by the College Board. The AP program offers students the opportunity to take challenging college-level courses while still in high school. The AP Scholars are Daniel Brandt, Sergio Diaz, Zachary Harris, Brian Moy, and Scott Zinser. Colette Angel, Jennifer Becker, Philip Beeler, James Cromley, Matthew Eglin, Aaron Galati, Adonis Gonzalez, Carla Hamilton, Kelly Krepp, Lydia Legvold, Kate McCoy, Alexander McCrory, Joseph McDonald, Benjamin Pierce, Liliana Rocha, Alex Witt, and Ryan Wyatt, members of the class of 2006. Congratulations to all of them. And as we come to the end of the first timeout, East Aurora coach Wendell Jeffrey wants to call time. the situation is this. We've had our second consecutive timeout asked for. Gordy Kirkman called for the first, and Wendell Jeffries the second one. With the score tied 60-60 and 28 seconds to play, and West Aurora will own the basketball. There have been 10 fouls called on East, 8 on West, so a foul either way would result in free throws. Right now, Gordy Kirkman, I'm sure, hoping that his young men can hold on to the ball. East, on the other hand, hoping their young men can steal it away. Marcus Cockcroft is coming back in the ball game, despite taking a hard fall a few minutes ago. He will be inbounding. He replaces Marquis Stewart in the lineup, and he inbounds it to Levante James. Marcus Cockcroft, with 25 seconds to go, will walk it across the timeline. Guarded by Walls. He gives to Levante James. Around his man, he drives, has an opening, and we've got a foul on the floor before the shot. It'll be 2 free throws coming for Levante James. He missed the layup anyway, but the foul called on one of the East players. And I believe the foul is going to be whistled on Jamar Shepard, his second. So Levante James at the free throw line for 2. And his first one is no good. With 16 seconds to go, he will get one more. The score tied at 60. And Levante James, only a 46% free throw shooter on the year. And the crowd making a lot of noise. And Wendell Jeffries now wanting to call a timeout. And we get the timeout. And it will be a full 1-minute timeout. So we'll take a 1-minute break for these messages, and then we'll be back here at East Aurora's gymnasium.
Another of this year's Golden Apple Awards winning teachers is West Aurora High School science teacher Janet Liberta, who makes personal connections with her students. Liberta offers assistance after school, sometimes at the local pizza parlor, on weekends, or even school holidays. She fine-tunes instruction to meet the needs of multiple cultures, races, and ability levels. In addition, she supports students by attending their school functions, recognizing them for accomplishments outside the academic realms. Congratulations of Janet Liberta. Another of this year's Golden Apple Awards winning teachers is Herget Middle School music teacher Jeff Glogowski. Glogowski is known for his inviting and infectious positive energy and his encouragement for students to achieve at their highest potential. He writes inspirational and motivational quotes to share with students on a daily basis. Glogowski conducts early morning and honors choirs and assists with the musicals and talent variety shows and participates in solo ensemble contests. Congratulations to Jeff Glogowski.
So Levante James for West Aurora misses the next free throw. Ball is loose. That's on the floor. Island has it for West. And we've got a whistle. And what have we got? Oh, they're going to call it for traveling. He was upended by one of the East players. And instead of a foul, they call traveling. So East Aurora will have the ball as Levante James missed both free throws. And in the fight for the ensuing rebound, they call traveling. Another turnover on West. So East will be inbounding. With 9 seconds to go in the backcourt. Walls will race James down the floor. He's going to go to the basket. He shoots. It's good, but they call a foul. Basket will count. The basket will count as Antoine Walls took it coast to coast. Tyler Thompson wanted to pick up the charge. It's a call that could have gone either way. It could have been charging to wipe off the basket, or it could have been on the defensive man, and that's what it was. And so Walls gives his team a 2-point lead with 4 seconds to go.
Looks like Gordy Kirkman's going to take a timeout here.
Yes, he will, to try to talk to his young men about what to do with 4 seconds to go. Whether or not Walls makes this free throw, they're going to probably have to fire one up from long range. But with only 4 seconds to go, you can bet that East Aurora would be pressuring the ball. What a situation we had there. Looked like West had an opportunity to win it on some free throws, but Levante James missed 2 of them. In fact, they have made just 3 of 7 in this fourth quarter, West has. That could be their Achilles heel here tonight. And East, give Walls credit, he outraced Levante James down the court. Thompson tried to step over and help out. They called a blocking foul on Thompson. And Walls, with great body control, will be at the free throw line with 4 seconds to go. Jeff Hem is down on the floor now, and Jim Leo joining us to pick up the statistics. Jim, you can't ask for any more excitement than we've had here tonight.
No, we just heard 2 eruptions from the East Aurora crowd here in a matter of seconds. And with 4 seconds left, West Aurora is in danger of hearing a third and final eruption from the crowd here.
Well, West fans not happy about the fact that Donato Island turned the ball over after he was upended. Literally, it was like a block in football. It knocked the legs out from under him, sent him up in the air, and they called him for traveling after he got the rebound off the miss. So here's the free throw from Walls. It is off the back, no. Rebound, Island gets it off to Reggie Shipp. He is hit. Island gets the rebound, throws it the length of the court. It's no good, and East Aurora wins it. East Aurora wins it. The final score, East High 62, West High 60. And there's pandemonium on the floor. The East players mobbing each other. And Jeff M. is on the floor with Wendell Jeffries. And I think he wants to congratulate Coach Gordy Kirkman first before talking to us. And rightly so, because both coaches did an outstanding job of preparing their young men and then coaching during the ball game. And it was a nip and tuck game. It went right down to the wire. The Tomcats win their 11th straight and move to 13-5 on the year, while West drops to 9-4 in this non-conference affair. The 210th meeting between East and West, one of the oldest rivalries in the state. And Jeff M. now getting set to talk to Wendell Jeffries on the floor. Go ahead, Jeff.
Coach Jeffries, you mentioned it. You mentioned this was number 1 on your list, at least in the non-conference way. What about this win tonight?
It was great. The kids really stayed together, and I'm glad we had some close games the last couple of weeks because they helped prepare us for this. When we got down, they did a great job of keeping their composure, and they executed everything that we wanted them to do.
What about the fan support tonight?
Fantastic. It was great. I tell you, we couldn't even hear ourselves think out here tonight.
What were you telling your guys in the huddle? There were a lot of strategic timeouts there called after Levante James missed his first free throw. You called a timeout. I'm sure that was to ice him and talk to your kids.
Right. Well, we knew that James was not a good free throw shooter, so we actually wanted him on the line. Even though the game was tied, we wanted him on the line, and we knew we had a guy that could get to the basket at the end, Walls, and we got everything that we want. It's to the kids' credit because they executed everything we wanted.
Let me guess, you won't be shocked if you see West Aurora in the regional championship.
Oh, no. There's a good chance we'll meet again.
Coach Jeffries, congratulations on a great win.
All right, thank you.
All right, Jeff, thank you for that interview. They are still celebrating here at West High. The East fans enjoying the first win in 2 years over West. And as we said earlier, West had won 11 of the last 12 matchups and 19 of the last 21. But this rare win is satisfying indeed for the East players who are celebrating out the free throw circle with a celebration dance of their own there. You'd think they won the state championship, Jim, the way they're jumping up and down.
Yeah, the state championship coming in January. Actually, it ends up being the city championship for now.
All right, we will be back to take a look at the individual and team statistics. But first, let's take this 2-minute pause, a 2-minute break for these messages.
In the same preliminary report issued by the Illinois State Board of Education, all 3 of the district's middle schools posted scores that exceeded the state's 47.5% requirements in the all category. That's District 131. East Aurora High School senior Iris Castellanos has been selected as the new student member of the East Aurora Board of Education. In this position, Iris will represent the entire student body of East Aurora High School. Iris is a proud product of Brady Elementary School and Waldo Middle School. She'll graduate from East Aurora High School in May 2007. East Aurora School District 131 is the recipient of a $250,000 grant through the Office of State Representative Linda Chapalavia to help improve security at the middle school level. Our partnerships with local organizations such as Office Depot, Waubonsie Community College faculty, Hollywood Riverboat Casino, and the Moms Club of District 204 donated over $15,000 in school supplies this year. The Nike store at Chicago Premium Outlet Mall has adopted Allen Elementary School as its official partnership school. Nike will partner with Allen to provide volunteers to work with students in the PE class and during recess to keep them active and healthy. In addition, Nike will purchase play equipment and host Nike-sponsored field days at the school building. 22 recently graduated West Aurora High School students have earned the designation of AP Scholar by the College Board. The AP program offers students the opportunity to take the challenging college-level courses while still in high school. The AP Scholars are Daniel Brandt, Sergio Diaz, Zachary Harris, Brian Moy, and Scott Zinzer, Colette Angel, Jennifer Becker, Philip Beeler, James Cromley, Matthew Eglin, Aaron Galati, Adane Gonzalez, Carla Hamilton, Kelly Kreft, Lydia Legvold, Katie McCoy, Alexander McCory, Joseph McDonald, Benjamin Pierce, Liliana Rocha, Alex Witt, and Ryan Wyeth. The Foundation for the West Aurora Schools is dispersing $24,642 to District 129 schools this year in support of 24 enrichment programs and services that cannot be supplied by limited public resources, an enrichment book club at Goodwin, a fine arts week at Greenman, and a sensory lab at Hopewell. These educational extras can make the critical difference between a good school system and an excellent one. Interested individuals can learn more about the mission of the Foundation by contacting Pat Skeels at 630-301-5024. And we'll come back here from the radio commercial break to Neil.
Well, it was all that it was hyped to be. East and West on paper very even, and as it turned out, that's the way this one ended up. East Aurora winning 62-60, but they had to fight off the charge of the Blackhawks in that fourth quarter. Fourth period saw East outscore West 16-15, hitting on 5 baskets, while West had 6 baskets. But while East was hitting 6 of 8 from the free throw line, West Aurora was making just 3 of 7. So for the game, West Aurora ends with 2 more baskets. They had 25. East had 23. But East had 5 3-pointers. West had 4. And at the free throw line, East made 11 of 16. West hit just 6 out of 11. So it was the East shooting that proved to be the difference. And we told you the numbers coming in from the free throw line. East had a little bit better average. Well, it paid off tonight. Individually leading the way for the victorious Tomcats, Sean Collins ended up their high score with 14 points, which included 2 3-pointers. He got them all in the first 3 periods, didn't score in that fourth quarter. Also in double figures in a balanced effort, Marlon Dickerson, the 5'11 senior, ends with 12. Roderick Finley picked up 10. 9 points for Antoine Walls. 7 for Tremel Weathersby. The other starter, Justin Tyner, did not score. And for the other reserves, Clarence Calhoun had a basket for 2. Jamar Shepard picked up 5 points. And Victor Owens had 3 free throws. For West Aurora, 8 men played tonight. 7 of them hit the scoring column. Leading the way with 20 was Reggie Shipp, another outstanding game for the 6'2 senior. He had 20 and also did a fine job on the rebound boards with 4 to pace West on the offensive end. Also in double figures, Tyler Thompson for West. He picked up 11 points, but he got 9 of them in the first 2 quarters. In fact, he had 7 at the end of the first quarter, and then he was pretty well shut out the rest of the way. He did end with 6 rebounds to his credit tonight. Also in double figures, scoring a career high, was 6'2 junior Corbin Spearman. Corbin had 10 points tonight, including 1 3-pointer. He was 1 for 1 from the free throw line also. And the other starter, Marquis Stewart, picked up 1 free throw. He split a pair of free throws down the stretch in that 4th stanza. For the reserves, Levante James picked up 3 baskets for 6 points. Missed those 2 crucial free throws with 16 seconds to go that I'm sure he'll be thinking about for a while. Montrell Billups also scored 6 points and picked up 3 rebounds to help the West cause. And the other starter, Marcus Cockcroft, who had been averaging close to 5 points a game, injured in that 4th quarter. That was a critical injury, I thought, because he really was directing the team, had a number of assists. And when he was injured and went out, they turned the ball over a couple times. Marcus did not score tonight. So the score by quarters. East Aurora jumped out to a big lead of 9 points at the end of that first quarter, 20-11. In the second quarter, West returned the favor and outscored the Tomcats 18-10. And so at halftime, East had a 30-29 lead, and when you look back at it, they had a couple of opportunities there, West did, to keep the lead at halftime, but they could not, as East scored right before the end of the period. In the third quarter, we began our seesaw affair as East jumped to a 7-point lead. Then West came back and scored 9 straight. In fact, they scored 12 straight to take a 41-36 lead. That was their biggest lead of the game at the 3:40 mark of the third quarter. But East fought back at the end of the third period, and on a 3-pointer at the buzzer, Antoine Walls gave East the lead 46-45, a big momentum builder heading into the fourth and final period. And then the fourth quarter was just back and forth. Neither team led by more than 1 point. We were tied on 3 occasions. The last tie came 60-60, and it stood up to the 16-second mark when Levante James was fouled, went to the free throw line, and missed both free throws. On the ensuing rebound, Renato Island of West got the rebound, but he was undercut, dropped the ball, and they called traveling. And then East had a chance for the final shot, and it was in the hands of Antoine Walls, who raced the ball down the floor, beat his defender, put up a shot with 4 seconds to go that went in. He was fouled, even though he missed the free throw. West could not get a good shot off, and the game ended with the Tomcats posting a 62-60 win. Jeff Hem, let's take a look at your team statistics now.
Blackhawks shot 68% from the field for the game, 26 of 38, 4 of 6 from three-point land, 21 rebounds, 4 of them offensive, and they did commit 4 very costly turnovers. Meanwhile, for the game, 23 of 47 shooting for the victorious East Aurora Tomcats, who have now won 11 in a row, 5 of 15 from beyond three-point range, so they were right around their season average in that regard. 48% shooting for the game for the Tomcats, 13 rebounds. They had 7 of them on the offensive side of the glass and committed just 6 turnovers. They had 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter, so they were going into the final period with just a couple. So the Tomcats took very good care of the ball. They made three-point shots when they had to, and they got a couple of breaks to go their way in that final minute there. And a tight ball game all the way, very well-played game, and congratulations to Wendell Jeffries for a hard-fought win on the sideline, and he's now 2-7 against West Aurora and in his career, and I'm sure it sounds a lot better to him than 1-8.
I'm sure it does. Yeah, it could have gone either way. It was that kind of a ball game where you knew it was going to be a break one way or another at the end of the game, and East, to their credit, hit the free throws, 6 out of 8 in the fourth quarter compared to 3 of 7 for West. That was the difference in the game. I know that the Blackhawks have to be disappointed because they had control of the game. They led actually 60-58 with about a minute to go, a little more than a minute, and Marcus Cocroft, the point guard, got injured, was out of there, and West turned it over 2 times in a row.
Yeah, and free throw. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then when they had the chance at the free throws, they just couldn't convert. They missed 4 of their last 5 attempts.
Yeah, and we've been talking about that from a West Aurora standpoint all season long, and they've been bailed out in the last few games because they made them down the stretch, but they didn't make them hardly at all tonight, and they certainly did not make them down the stretch. And from a West Aurora standpoint, you could see Levante James' body language after he missed the first one, and it almost seemed as though you knew he was going to miss the second because he was so upset after missing the first. And that's where you have to remind yourself these are high school kids, you know, they know what this means to the community and the fans and both teams, and you know, fighting so hard for it. And James just got so down on himself. His teammates tried to pick him up, but I was not surprised he missed the second one because the pressure was even higher and his emotions were running even more heavily as well.
Well, this is an East-West game. Emotions are going to run very high.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not. You can't blame him, but you're not surprised when it happens.
That's right. Well, the few fans remaining still talking about this one, the what-ifs and could-haves on both sides. We'll be back to name our players of the game. Player for each team tonight, player of the game, and we'll be back to do that after we take this 1-minute pause for these messages.
10 West Aurora High School graduates recently were inducted as charter members into the school's new Distinguished Alumni Hall of Honor. They are retired Army Major General Max Barretts, class of 1952, former broadcast journalist John Drury, class of 1945, teacher and artist Ruth Van Sinkle Ford, class of 1915, opera singer Eric Halferson, class of 1970, retired Navy Admiral and current energy company executive H. William Habermeyer, class of 60, Harvard University Associate Professor Dr. Arthur Legge, class of 61, artist and illustrator Wendell Miner, class of 62, healthcare executive Paul Ormond, class of 1967, and the very well-known meteorologist Tom Skilling, class of 1970, and finally satellite television pioneer Robert Taggart, class of 1961. Speaking of Robert Taggart, time to meet him, one of West High 2006 Hall of Honor inductees, Stanford University graduate in the late 60s when he and colleague James Janke developed the first dish receiver that could receive television from satellite. He will be inducted into the West High Hall of Honor, already was, I beg your pardon, back in November.
So the 210th meeting between East and West Aurora has come to a close, and this game featured sparkling performances by a number of young athletes here, and we're going to look to Jeff and with some assistance from Jim Leo to tell us who the players of the game are for each team.
Well, I haven't seen a lot of the final statistics from doing some of the interviews, but just based on feel, and now I see that Reggie Shipp had 20 points. I'm going to go with Reggie tonight. I thought based on his point total and also his overall play in general against a very difficult backcourt in East Aurora, for Reggie to have 20 points was outstanding from the West Aurora standpoint. We always pick a Blackhawks player of the game. And when you go to the East Aurora side, Marlon Dickerson had an outstanding game with 12. Sean Collins, the leader most of the time, had 14. So from the West standpoint, I'll go Reggie Shipp. And for East, I'll go with Marlon Dickerson. You look at a couple of free throws he made in the fourth quarter with some big opportunities there. He gets my vote for the Tomcats.
Okay, see if Jim is going to disagree with any of that. I think those are two good choices for our players of the game. Well, it's been a busy day of basketball here at East Aurora, starting off with the freshman games in the morning. Since the noontime started, we've had a total of 5 ball games. West Aurora won the first 4 games, winning the freshman girls game 20-7. They won the sophomore girls game 29-25. West Aurora won the sophomore boys game 48-38. And West won the varsity girls game in a come-from-behind effort 50-47. But in the varsity game, much of those early losses, I'm sure, were forgotten because East Aurora has picked up the 62-60 win, and our congratulations to all of them. It may not be the last time that we will have seen these two teams play. It all depends on how the state pairings go. Jeff, I know any final thoughts from you? I know you have to be impressed with the way these two teams fought right down to the end.
I was very impressed. I thought Wendell Jeffries did a great job of coaching in that fourth quarter with the way he used some of his timeouts and so strategically, as I mentioned to him in that interview, after Levante James missed the first free throw, he quickly called a timeout, wanted James to think about it a little bit more, also gather his troops. For Wendell Jeffries, I know how excited he was, and you can tell in an East-West game like this how much it involves the community and the fans, just based on the fact that the Tomcats, for about 5 or 10 minutes after the game had ended, were still out there celebrating.
Yes.
The students come out onto the floor, and that's what's so neat about it. It's not just any other game when these two teams get together, and you can see that no matter who wins the game based on how many people are parading on the floor after the game. It was a fantastic game tonight from both sides.
It really was, and it's really been a historic first, and we're glad to have all of our listeners and viewers along with us. We have a number of people to thank for all of their efforts to help make this possible tonight. We certainly want to start by expressing our appreciation to the two school superintendents who visited with you, Jeff, at halftime, Dr. James Rydland and Jerome Roberts from West and East. Also to the community affairs gentlemen for each district, Clayton Mohammed from School District 131 and Mike Chapin from School District 129. Also to our crew who put this all together. The first video webcast we've had here in the Aurora area, and we've all been glad to be a part of it. But our thanks to Sean O'Connor from All-in-One Broadcasting out in Maryland for helping us. Also, Todd Bishop, who is our technical expert, exemplary, bar none. He put this all together, and we really want to thank him for all that he contributed. Also, our technician, John Von Hoff, and our cameramen were Mike Meyer and George De La Cruz. Want to thank Mike Sturba back at our WBIG studios, our originating station tonight. We will be broadcasting locally over WBIG next weekend. We'll have the West Aurora Wheaton South game on Friday night. Jeff, you and I will be over there for that one as we start down into the second half of the season. And as we said earlier, it may be another East-West game. If you have enjoyed tonight's broadcast, we hope to hear from you. You can let us know your reactions to either School District 129 or School District 131, and tell us your thoughts about tonight's ball game. We've enjoyed putting it together, and we've enjoyed having you be with us. Once again, I want to thank my colleague Jeff Hem for all of his hard work. Jim Leo behind the scenes here kept things going, Jeff, when you were running up and down between the press box and the floor. It was a great team effort up here.
Yep.
And I want to say my name is Neil Orman, and it's been my pleasure to bring you my 101st East-West game. It's been a great run. Hope we have many more. Once again, fans, the final score in our varsity game tonight was East Aurora 62, West Aurora 60. This has been a production of radio station WBIG and joint simulcast with the cooperation of the Aurora Sports Network School District 129 and 131. Good night, everybody.